Okay, so today we're going to cover these stories about Vaishnava Parad. And if we have time, we'll learn one more verse. We'll do it quick. So we were talking about Hanti Nindati Vaidveshti Vaishnavanna Abhinandati Krudite Yadino Harsham Darshane Patanani Shat. Hari Bhakti Vilas. Which is the number? 10.3.12. Yeah. 10.3.12. Okay, so 6 kinds of offenses to Vaishnav. And these offenses are the mad elephant that uproots the creeper of devotion from the heart of the sadhaka. Hanti, to criticize or slander or blaspheme a Vaishnav. Hanti, the first one is to beat or try to kill a Vaishnava. Hanti. Nindati is to criticize or blaspheme the devotees. To blaspheme the devotees. This is one kind of offense to the Vaishnavas. Hanti Nindanti Vaidveshti, to feel enmity, malice or hatred towards the Vaishnavas. Dveshti. So for Hanti we told one story. Which story did we tell? We told 2 stories. We told the story of Garuda and Shobhari Rishi. And we told the story of... You remember? Anyone remember? I forget also. Durvasa Rishi and Ambarish. So for Hanti we told Durvasa and Ambarish and Garuda and Shobhari. Then for Nindati, for criticizing the Vaishnav, we told the story of Gopal, Chapal, and even Sachimata. How Mahaprabhu would not give prem to his own mother until she made atonement for her offense to for Advaita Acharya. She was telling Advaita Acharya, you are dividing people instead of joining them together. You are Advaita, not Advaita. So even Sachimata, Mahaprabhu's own mother, was not given pure prem when she had criticized or slandered or felt ill will towards another Vaishnav. This was the example of Nindati. To criticize or offend a Vaishnav or blaspheme a Vaishnav or feel some kind of ill will towards a Vaishnav, Krishna will not give you his pure love, Krishna prem, or Mahaprabhu will not give you his prem until you make amends for that. This is called prayaschitta, atonement. So first of all, never do it. But if by any chance you do it, then you must make amends, atonement, prayaschitta. Like Durvasa went back to Ambarish. That's why that story is important. Durvasa went to Ambarish and got forgiveness. Even though Ambarish didn't take offense, Vaishnavas don't take offense, but their foot dust, the devotees who are following them, and Krishna takes offense. Okay, so that's the stories we told about Nindati, Gopal, Chapal, and Sachimata. Then Dveshti. Dveshti means enmity, malice, or like hatred towards Vaishnavas. And we told the story of Ramchandra Khan. We told that story, right? Ramchandra Khan and Haridas Thakur. We told it, right? Okay, so Ramchandra Khan, who was very envious of Haridas Thakur, he sent the prostitute to try to make Haridas fall down because he was envious. Everyone was glorifying Haridas. So he sent the prostitute. And then later on, Nityananda Prabhu went with the devotees and asked for a place to stay the night when they were doing traveling Sankirtan. And this Ramchandra Khan said, oh, you are just like low-class people. You can stay in the cow shed, in the cow pen. And Nityananda became very upset. Generally, Nityananda is never angry. Akrodha Paramananda. Nityananda is never angry, but sometimes transcendental anger comes only when Guru is not angry if you offend Guru himself. But if you offend the devotees, disturb the devotees, then Guru becomes like Nrsingadev. So Nityananda said, your whole village, your family, everything will be destroyed. He said, the Muslims will come and they will cook cow meat here on your premises and they will destroy your whole family. And it happened like that. Because he dishonored the devotees, saying you are very low-class people, even like it's seeming like it's not such a big offense. Oh, but he said like this, oh, you're low-class people, I'm not giving you any place in my house, you can stay with the animals, like you're like animals. It's very painful actually to Nityananda Prabhu, his own associates. It said, Nitaya Charana Satya Tahara Sevaka Nitya, that Nityananda and his associates, they're all eternal. We can't divide the devotees from Gurudev or Krishna from his bhaktas. If we try to divide the bhaktas from Krishna, we think, oh, I'm only criticizing the bhaktas. Doesn't matter. I'm not criticizing God. But you can't divide God from his devotees. You can't divide Nityananda from his associates. So he criticized Nityananda's associates, the devotees, saying they're like animals, stay with the animals. And then he criticized Haridas and tried to make Haridas fall down by sending the prostitute to him. Then for this offense, Nityananda said, why darshane patanani shat? These 6 kinds of offenses will make you fall down or fall to a degraded condition. So Nityananda gave him this. He said, this is not my curse. The result or the reaction of doing Vaishnava Parad is that you will be annihilated, destroyed. It's not even his curse. Nityananda is not cursing him. But this is the natural result of offending the devotees. Why? Once you get this habit, then you will increase. You criticize one devotee, nothing happens. Then you start criticizing more devotees. Then you start criticizing Guru, seeing faults in Guru. Then you start criticizing Krishna. Then this criticizing nature will develop unimpeded, and ultimately it will lead to your complete downfall or destruction. Therefore, you should try to stop this nature. Gurudev would say, try to never criticize. Even now someone else is doing something wrong, don't criticize. Why are you criticizing? Look, Prabhuji said just a few days ago in the afternoon before he was going to rest, he said, someone was asking, how do some people have very angry temperaments? Angry temperament, they have a hard time controlling their anger. So then they said, what should we do, Prabhuji? We have this nature to be angry. He said, yes, this is not bad, but be angry at yourself, not at yourself, but use that fire of your anger, which is like a kind of power, to burn your own weaknesses and your own anartas and find your own faults and help yourself develop to a higher position or higher standard. Don't be angry at yourself as a jiva. You're not bad. There's nothing wrong with you. But try to use that as a force for your own spiritual transformation. So it's the same with criticizing. Instead of criticizing other people, think, what have I done that I could do better? And then, why am I not living to my topmost potential? How could I be better myself? Okay, now, how could I, what area in my life am I not living to my full potential? What time am I wasting in the day? And how can I be better in that time? Then you start looking inside. Look within, criticize yourself instead of criticizing others. And ultimately get rid of this nature to criticize completely. It's not useful. This is not our responsibility. Unless we are a guru ourselves, then we don't need to criticize and look at find faults. It's not our job. Even Krishna doesn't find faults. There's a verse for Krishna that says, Bhava Grahi Janardana, that Krishna accepts the mood. Even if devotees do something wrong, like they're trying to worship him, but they do it in a wrong way, but they have a sincere desire, then Krishna doesn't look at the fault, he looks at the positive thing. So even Krishna is not finding faults. It's said that Guru, he sees in the heart of the disciple a huge mountain and he thinks this is Giriraj. Because Uttam Bhagavat always sees good. He sees a huge mountain in the heart of the disciple. And he thinks, oh look, Giriraj is in their heart. But what is it really? It's a mountain of anartas. All their bad qualities, bad nature. But Guru doesn't think, oh, look at all their bad desires. He thinks, oh, anyhow, Giriraj is there. The point is that they don't look at the faults. He said we should be gunagrahi dos adarshi. Accept good qualities and don't look at the faults of others. Gunagrahi dos adarshi. Adarshi means to not look. So there's no need to look at the faults of others. If you want to look at someone's faults, if you have that nature and you can't give it up, then apply it within. If you have this nature of anger, you cannot get rid of it. Then use it for yourself to help your own development. Like a car, to move forward, it needs fuel. So this anger is a kind of fuel because it gives you some kind of adrenaline or strength. So rather than using it outside, use it within for your own development. Now, you don't want to burn yourself up inside also. That's also dangerous. Some people who always keep their anger inside, they don't express it outwardly. Pretty said, you get very skinny and you're always burning up inside and it's not good for you, he said. So you don't use it for yourself also. You try to use it in a positive way. If I have any kind of bad qualities within me, then I should be upset with myself and I should try to improve. But ultimately, you should give it up completely. It's not useful. It's not necessary. And also in Sastra Puriti says, if someone is completely against the devotees, bhakta dvesh, against Krishna, then you can use that for them also. So, that's actually...
Sometimes we take revenge in the name of Guru and Vaishnava.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. It's... Yeah, like we cannot pretend to be Hanuman, that we're going and burning down Lanka. I am Hanuman, I'm burning down Lanka. But like she said, it's important. Yeah, I'm using my own desires. I want to do this, so I'm using my own desire to fulfill, like, in the name of service. In the name of service, I'm, fulfilling my own sense desires. Or like that, right? In the name of service. Okay, so we don't want to take too long on that. So dveshti. So we had Ramchandra Khan, then Krudyate Yadino Vaishnava na abhinandati. So we didn't cover this one yet. Vaishnava na abhinandati. To not welcome the devotee. To not welcome the devotee. So there's two examples we'll tell about that. The first example is that of Romaharshan Sutta. Why do we not welcome generally? Because it shows us to be like submissive or like lower. Oh, I am such a big personality, I don't need to welcome anyone. That's one reason. Otherwise, we don't like them, so we don't welcome them. If a devotee comes, we should feel happy and we should welcome them. Vaishnava na abhinandati. If Guru and Vaishnavas are coming from a long distance, like if Gurudev is coming or Vaishnavas are coming, and we're just sitting in our room playing video games, and we know they're coming, and we don't go and welcome them, this is Vaishnava Parad. They're coming, we should honor them. We should offer pranam, we should welcome them. We should give them some garland, give them some fruits, some offering. Or if they come and we're sitting, like if they walk in the room and we're like sitting and doing something on the computer or something, and we completely ignore them. This is also Vaishnava Parad. It's neglect of Vaishnava.
Wasn't this popular? Somebody watching you. Who is there? I'm not available now.
Yeah.
Not even open door.
Yeah.
To tell them,
Yeah.
not opening door even.
It's true. Okay, so quickly we'll go through two examples. Romaharshan Sutta, you probably already know the example. He was speaking about the Puranas. Vyasadeva made 4 disciples, and they were given they were taught to teach about the 4 branches of the Vedas: Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda. This was Jaimini, Vaishampayan, and 2 others, I forget right now. Sumanta, Payan, like that. He had 4 disciples. So, but then Romaharshan Sutta was given the Puranas. He was like the 5th disciple, and he was taught to speak on the Puranas, the Vedic histories. Puranas are the different histories and the different accounts and stories. The Vedas, all the knowledge and the Psalms, the prayers. So he was speaking about the Puranas in front of thousands of sages and like sadhakas. And Baladev was going on parikrama during the Mahabharata. Baladev, Duryodhana and Bhima and the Pandavas all wanted Baladev to fight with them. But Baladev said, Duryodhana is my Shishya, disciple. Bhima is also my disciple. I won't get involved. I won't participate in the battle. So he went on parikrama. During parikrama, he went to this place where Romaharshan Sutta was giving Purana Katha. And when Baladev came there, Romaharshan Sutta did not get up to welcome him or did not even acknowledge him. Everyone else got up and welcomed Baladev. But Romaharshan Sutta ignored him, neglected him. And Baladev thought, oh, you are in the position of Guru now, but what kind of teaching are you giving to others? You're not learning how to honor others. Baladev's not thinking for himself, but he's thinking he is a Guru, and by his example, everyone will follow this also. And he is not learning how to honor anyone. He doesn't know the basic ABCs of spiritual life, so how is he giving all this big katha? So Baladev said, you're not qualified for this. So he took kush grass and cut his head off. Why did he use kush grass? Kush grass is from the asan you sit on. So he said, you're not qualified for this asan. Here's the kush grass, take off his head. So then his son was Sutta Goswami actually. Sutta, he was a young boy. And then the sages said, oh, now who will speak katha to us? He said, this boy can do it. He said, see Guru's power, even the boy can become a big speaker. So he blessed this boy, and this boy became the speaker. And later on, he heard the Bhagavatam from Sukadeva Goswami, and later on then he spoke the Bhagavatam to Shonak Adi Rishis in Naimisharanya. So this is an example of not welcoming the Vaishnav or the devotee, in this case Baladev, Guru Tattva. Guru is also Vaishnav. Second example of not welcoming the devotees or Guru. Same, Guru is also devotee, Vaishnav. So Indra was in heaven and he had just defeated the demons in a big battle. And he was feeling very puffed up and happy about his victory. And so he was in this royal ceremony in heaven and everyone was worshipping him with arti, offering him different garlands and gifts. And he was on this big royal throne. And in the meantime, Brihaspati, his guru, came into the assembly hall. And he did not welcome his guru. Because he was thinking, if I welcome him, I'll have to get up off my royal throne and go and see him, go and invite him and give him some seat. And everyone who's worshipping now will see that, oh, really there's someone better, bigger and better than Indra. Indra's not the top guy. He's going and humbly respecting his guru. And so Brihaspati saw, oh, my disciple now is puffed up. He doesn't need me. So he walked and left. But without his guru's mercy, without Guru Shakti, if we do Guru Avagya, dishonor Guru, all our power is lost. And immediately after that, the demons heard, oh, Indra offended Brihaspati. Brihaspati is not in heaven anymore. Now it's time for our military campaign. And they rallied their forces, attacked heaven, and very easily defeated all the demigods, kicked them all out of heaven, and they took heaven for themselves. Why? Only because Indra dishonored his guru by not welcoming him. Vaishnava na abhinandati. And he had to do so much prayashchitta for that, atonement for that. And finally, after again pleasing guru, then he was able to get his position back. So that's another example of losing by dishonoring Vaishnavas or by not welcoming. Then you lose your position. Patanani shat, you fall down. Okay, so we'll go forward. Krudite. What time is it? Krudite example. Being angry. What's a good example? There's many examples. One is Hiranyakashipu. He was angry with Prahlad. He asked Prahlad, Prahlad is the great Vaishnav. He's one of the Mahajans, greatest devotees. And Prahlad was just a little boy, 5 years old. He said he had just sent him to school for like the first 6 or 7 months. When your son is like 4 or 5 years old, then you first send them to school. This is not like modern fashion that from 5 years old you go to school, 4 years old you go to school. This is going on even in the time of Satya Yuga, millions of years ago. Prahlad was 5 years old. So from 4 or 5 years old, okay, now preschool, now school. So he came home, he said, oh son, what have you learned in school? And Prahlad's teachers were the demon gurus, Sanda, Marka. They were teaching only about Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, economics, civics, like Purdy says. Basically, what we find in schools nowadays. Sanda and Amarka were teaching the basic studies in school. Nowadays in schools they say, you can't teach religious subjects. This is sectarian. Only teach about so-called non-sectarian things, only about basically atheism. Anything that is trying to disprove the reality of God and His nature. So they were teaching like that, but Prahlad didn't listen to this because his guru was really not a Rishi. In the womb of his mother, he heard Harikatha for such a long time. So he told this Harikatha because he had accepted him as his guru. So he said, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam Sakyam, Atmani Vedanam, Iti Pungsarpita, Vishnu, Bhaktischennava, Lakshana, Kreta, Bhagavate Datan, Manyeditam, Uttamam. The best education, the best thing I've learned, Uttamam, Tan Manyeditam, Uttamam. The thing that I accept as the greatest teaching is worshipping Lord Vishnu through the ninefold practice of devotion, hearing, chanting, remembering, Padasevanam, worshipping the feet, Archanam, worshipping the deity, Vandanam, praying to the Lord, Atmanivedanam, offering oneself, Sakyam, making friendship with the Lord, for Krishna, Iti Pungsarpita Vishnu, for Vishnu. And Hiranyakashipu was Vishnu's enemy. He thought he's speaking about Vishnu and saying to worship my enemy. So he became very angry and he threw Prahlad off his lap. And Prahlad also said, oh, you should, Vanam Gatoyad Haramashrayata, you should leave this Griha Andakupa, this dark well of family life, go to the forest and take shelter of Lord Hari. So Hiranyakashipu became very angry with Prahlad. And out of his anger, he tried to kill him in so many ways. So this is also Hanti. We talked before about how one Vaishnava offense will sometimes be from 2 or 3 different causes. You may be criticizing, you may try to kill, you may be angry, you may be envious, you may not welcome. Many things can come in one. But this is an example of Krudite and Hanti. But we needed a Krudite example. So Hiranyakashipu was very angry and he tried to kill Prahlad many ways. Ultimately, this led to his annihilation. This is a very mysterious pastime though. Actually, Krishna sent Prahlad knowing that he has Radharani Swarup Shakti's mercy on him. Halad. Radharani's Ladini Shakti. So he is Prahlad means he has this Alad potency. And he will go to Hiranyakashipu and help bring out his anartas. And then he can be clean and pure and then he can come back to me soon. Because they had been cursed by the 4 Kumaras. They were Jai and Vijay before. So it's a long story. We're not going to get into that. We're going to move forward. Okay, quickly now. So then, Krudite yadi no harsham darshane. To not be happy upon seeing the Vaishnav. If devotees meet one another, they should be happy. If they're not happy, that means there's some ill will, some malice towards one another. There's some miscommunication, some misconception, some disagreement. Otherwise, why not be happy? Like we see in this world, there's millions and billions of people. And most of them are engaged in Maya, absorbed in Maya, don't have any bhakti for Krishna. So if you're wandering in this world and you find another person who also has bhakti for Krishna, you should rejoice. You should be very happy to see them. If you're not happy to see them, then it means some bad mood is there. And then this is also one kind of offense to Vaishnav, aparad. Naharsh yati.
In the songs that Bhaktivinoda said, I don't see their face. I was thrown in a coal.
This is a good point. This is a good point. Oh, this is a very good point, actually. Yeah. He said, Jede se nitai nai, sete se jabo, nitai vimuke jar, mukanahiribo. This is the verse. That in that place where my nitai is not present, that place I will not go, and I will not look at that face of one who is against my Nityananda. So this is on the level of really high mamata for your aradhya, your ishta, your guru or Krishna.
Yeah, but
For Radharani Sakis also say.
you cannot tell about person in his which life needs to be present. It's not really Vaishnava. We telling, I'm not happy to see Vaishnava, but who not accepting Nitai already not Vaishnava.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If they're not favorable to Nityananda Prabhu, or not favorable to Guru, not favorable to Radharani or Krishna, then how they are Vaishnav? They're not then real Vaishnav. If they're always inimical towards Krishna and his devotees, then already they're not real Vaishnav. They're always criticizing devotees.
Then Vaishnavas in names only.
Yeah, Vaishnav Prai.
Just in Vaishnava.
Yeah, they are Vaishnav Prai. It's true.
Somebody also asked me, Sanatan I think, if somebody offended Vaishnavas and then came to you and he's supposed to be Vaishnava, then I'm not happy to see him because he's dead.
No, this is true. So this is a good question. We can talk more about this, and we can also ask Prabhuji. It's a good point. It's a very good point. So we have 2 minutes, and I'll just tell this quick story about this Yatina Harshan. This is a very good point, though, that you brought up, and we'll have to discuss this more in another class. What to do when someone is offending devotees? Should we be happy to see them or not? And is not being happy to see them aparad? So we're going to put what they call this can of worms. We're going to talk about this later. We're going to put it aside. We'll talk about this more later. So Yatino Harsham Darshane, we're going to tell in 2 minutes. We'll tell a short story. You probably know it. Ganja Krishnadas. Ganja Krishnadas heard the glories of Rupa Goswami from many people, but he was lame and he walked in a very funny way. And when he was coming to see Rupa Goswami in the early morning to his bhajan kutir, he saw Rupa Goswami laughing. And he became offended, thinking, Rupa Goswami, I heard he was such a great devotee, but he's making fun of my body shaming. So he left without having darshan. Then Rupa Goswami's bhajan stopped. He was meditating on Krishna Lila. So Radharani did not want that someone would offend her dear Manjari and spread that offense to others. Really? Kanja Krishnadas had made the offense, thinking that Rupa Goswami was offending him because he had a bad mood developed towards him. He had dvesh, some kind of dvesh develop, also not being happy to see him. He was not so happy. So anyway, then Jiva and Sanatana Goswami quickly came to Rupa Goswami sometime after, and Rupa Goswami told them that he was having some disturbance. And they said we should have a Vaishnav Mahotsav. So invite all the Vaishnavas for a festival. Whoever doesn't come, we'll know that there's some weird mood. So they invited everyone. Only this Kanja Krishnadas didn't come. They invited him. He said, I'm not feeling good. I don't want to go. And you're all such great Vaishnavas. I'm very fallen. Why should I go? So then they went and told Rupa. And Sanatana Goswami said, yes, this must be the person who was disturbed. So Jiva and Jiva actually went and invited everyone, Jiva Goswami. And then he reported to Sanatana and Rupa, his elder brothers. Right? So then they went together, Sanatana Goswami and Jiva Goswami, and invited Kanja Krishnadas, please come. And he said, no. And they said, please tell us the reason why you're upset. We know you're upset about something. So then he said, I'm so fallen and low, and they are such great Vaishnavas. What should I go to them? He said, tell us. So he finally said, I went to see him, and he saw me, and he was laughing. So he said, let's go. So they went to Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami said, they told him the story. He said, I was, with closed eyes, I was meditating on Radha Krishna Lila. I was in Antardasa, internal absorption. And I was seeing the pastime where Radharani and the gopis were picking flowers at Kusum Sarovar. And Krishna came early, and he went into the tree, and he pushed one branch down, but he was hiding. He camouflaged in the tree. And when Radharani was picking some flowers off the branches, like some champak trees, some flower trees, so she was holding the branch, and Krishna was holding it down, and she had one hand like this. Krishna put it just enough that she had to kind of reach up to grab the flowers. If the flowers are just out of reach, so he pushed it down enough that she could reach up. So she reached up and she was holding it and pulling it down a little bit and trying to pick flowers. And then Krishna released his foot and she flew up into the air. And then she started calling out, Sham, Sham, Sham. Then Krishna quickly jumped around from underneath, jumped down, and then grabbed her from behind and embraced her and pulled her down. And then all the Sakhis and Manjaris were laughing that Krishna had arranged this funny pastime. So Rupa Goswami saw that and he was laughing. So Rupa Goswami said, he's in his Antardasa, he's not seeing Kanja Krishnadas even. He didn't even see him. But Kanja Krishnadas, he was not happy to see the Vaishnavas. When Jiva came to him, when Sanatan came to him, he was not happy to see them. Yati no harsham darshane. This is one kind of neglect or offense. He was not happy to see Rupa Goswami because he thought he is offending to me. So sometimes, the example of this story is that sometimes there will be some miscommunication or misconception. You think this person doesn't like me or they offend me or something, but really there's nothing there. So if you have no communication, then you cannot get rid of this aparad. That's why communication is good. If you have some doubt in another devotee, some bad will towards another person, the best way to solve this is to speak with them or to speak with another devotee about it. When devotees would have any argument with Bhaktisiddhanta's time, then Bhaktisiddhanta would make them stand up and glorify each other and talk with each other again. So this is not good for devotees. If you have some bad will towards another person, some bad mood, then you should try to reconcile this because this can be an obstacle in your bhakti. It can be an impediment. And then if you're not happy to see the devotee, then this can be like also an aparad. So this is another case. They haven't made offenses to devotees. Like that example you said, that's another example. Not look at the face of someone who's an offender. That's one thing. But then if people are just ordinary devotees and you're not happy to see another devotee, then you should figure it out. There should be some reason for that, and it can be, sometimes, usually it's just miscommunication. Like Kanja Krishnadas thought Rupa Goswami was making fun of him, but Rupa Goswami was just meditating on this pastime and laughing. And so when Sanatana Goswami reconciled it, he took Jiva and they brought him and they reconciled it. So we should, Prabhupada always says, never think this is Rupa Goswami's offense. It's not Rupa Goswami's offense. He is Uttam Mahabhagavat. But also he said that the senior person should go to the junior person. It's not that the junior has to come to the senior. The senior is more advanced, they have more learning, they've been longer in Vaishnavism, so they should take this responsibility to help the younger sibling, the younger god brother or god sister. Not that they have to always go up. So that's why Rupa, Sanatan, Jiva, they went and helped Kanja Krishnadas. Otherwise the junior, they can be very stubborn and think, okay, I'd never go see them again. So the senior can go from down to up. Okay, so this is example of Yati no harsham darshane. So these are the 6 different Vaishnava aparads we heard in the other episode as well. All right, so we didn't get a chance to learn another sloka yet, but anyhow, tomorrow we'll have an off day, and then the next day everyone will have a chance to speak for 10, 15, 20 minutes about Vaishnava Tattva. Today we started at 4:15, so we have to try to start at 4.